Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael.
This is Cleve.
This is Stephanie.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship.
Potato.
Friendship?
Tomato.
Friendship.
Supreme.
Nailed it. There was no echo this time. She wasn't prepared. She didn't know.
I messed her up with the potato.
We're the podcast that dares to ask, what movie happened in the 1990s that you hold on and cherish most?
What we're going to do is I wrote down the top 3 grossing movies of every year from 1990 to 1999. We're going to see, maybe I'll Rotten Tomatoes is a good, solid rating system, right? You think everybody pretty much goes along with that one?
Yeah, if Rotten Tomatoes says it's bad, it's bad.
Right. So I'm not going to ask you guys to guess because that's just not fair. But is there a movie that you would like to think maybe that was the one that...
Batman and
Can
Robin.
you name a movie from the 90s? Batman and Robin was not one of the top grossing movies.
Oh, Top Gross. I was thinking worse. I'm sorry. The 90s Top Gun. 1991. Or 90.
Was it?
That's what it feels like in my heart.
My problem is I don't know when movies came out.
How close was that?
But
I feel like not at all. 1986.
see, I almost said Princess Bride, and that was 1987.
As far off as... Okay. And like I said, that's why I'm not going to have you guess.
Greatest Action Hero. I don't care what anybody says, it was a fantastic movie. Last Action Hero. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You like to really hang your hat on certain things.
Anyways.
1990 Ghost.
Like
Ghost.
The pottery scene?
Yeah. It had a budget of $22 million, which I don't know what we spent that on. If it was
Patrick
just
Swayze looking like a
Patrick
ghost.
Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. But it
21 million.
$505,702,588.
The real question is, when's the last time any one of us has seen it? If we've ever seen it at all.
I don't think I've seen the whole thing ever.
Yeah, I've seen pieces of it for sure. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the whole movie.
I think I've seen that one scene. That's
That
it.
one scene a million times and parodies of it. But yeah, the other movies for that year, Home Alone was number 2, and Pretty Woman was number 3.
That makes sense.
Home Alone was interesting. Growing up, I was not like a super Home Alone fan. Katie is. And it was okay.
It's about some kid who's a terrible kid and can't pack a suitcase but can rig a whole house with booby traps.
I was actually talking to Katie the other day, and I don't know. I'm sure this film will come up because I believe it was in the 90s, although I was off on Top Gun. So, Forrest Gump, I don't know why it's regarded as such a great movie. Because I would tell you I watched it in the last 5 years, and I did not care for it.
Is there a certain thing you didn't care about it for? Because
it doesn't feel...
It's a pretty good movie.
It's pretty
I didn't
good.
feel like it was, though.
It's got a good
Explain to me why it's a
lesson
good
in it.
movie.
I mean, right, but what do you have like a supporting?
No, I'm curious what you would consider a good film. I have a theory that this is a good film because of the people that were listed in it. People like Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, John Williams. Like, the fact that those people were all involved in one project, it's hard to be like, nah, screw those guys. They're all pretty much masters of their craft. But I don't know, like, I just feel like watching that movie, it's not a movie I'm like, man, I gotta go watch Forrest Gump.
I mean, it's not like a movie that I'm like, let's put on once a week.
It's like, I guess, here's my criteria
Jurassic
for it
World.
being a good movie. Do I feel it's necessary for my child to see it at some point in their childhood? Forrest Gump's not one.
I mean, it's a good story though.
Why?
About perseverance.
About a guy overcoming very terrible odds after obviously having disability, several disabilities, or at least two, right? Because his legs were one, and then his comprehension was another. Always lusting after his one true love, even though she's a terrible person.
Right. Terrible.
The fact that besides them randomly plugging him in, it's all historically accurate. And that was one of Tom Hanks's like, I want this to be historically accurate. I won't do it otherwise. But yeah, I mean, again, man, you hang your hat where you hang your hat, and I respect it. But
I don't know.
And a lot of the times I can try to see your opinion on it, but you've just left me with no words on this one.
Yeah, this one's about like overcoming huge obstacles.
I challenge you. When's the last time either one of you have seen this movie?
I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I mean, you also think that Ninja Turtles 3 is really good.
I don't think it's really good. I don't think it's as terrible as you think it is. Same reason why you said people that bash on the Smurfs shouldn't be take credited, because I think it was created for children, and it was good as a child.
But this one was for adults.
Mm-hmm.
And as an adult, within the last 5 years, I've seen it, and I didn't think it was that great.
Okay, I think I could say I've seen it within 5 years, and I still get pulled in.
I've seen it multiple times.
I think if I was flipping through channels and it came on, then I wouldn't turn away from it. But
in fact, I'm like, I haven't watched it in a while. I should watch it again. Just one of those movies you put on because you just haven't seen it in a while. It was good.
But see, it doesn't feel like that to me. I don't know that I'm ever like actively like, yes. In fact, the most recent time I watched it was because I was like, let's give it another chance. Maybe I was in a different mind frame at the time.
You also have terrible taste in movies, so it's like.
Well, you liked cats, so up your ass.
So bad. Funny. Spider-Man 3. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if I can. I don't know. I think the whole episode needs to be about your hatred for.
It's not a hatred. It's just I don't think it's as great of a film as it, because I saw like an ad. I think I was watching something on YouTube TV, and it was like, here's an ad for the fact that we're going to show you all the classic movies. And it was just like,
yeah,
that movie came up. And again, I get it, but at the same, and I know like it won awards and I know it did well. It's just never a movie that I'm like, yes, Forrest Gump's on the TV. I'm going to watch it.
I mean, I don't think that it's anything that I'm super excited about. It's not everybody stop what you're doing. Everybody stop talking. Forrest Gump is on. But, I mean, I like it and respect it. I don't know.
I mean, I respect what it's won. I know it's a good cinematographic film, if that's a word. I understand that like the technique isn't good, the storytelling is fine. I just don't think it's I just don't care for the character. If I really want to get into it, but
I knew that's what it was. I knew it's what it was.
I just don't think it's. I just didn't like. It's not super exciting to me. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not going back and watching Grapes of Wrath. I did love the book of that, and then watched the film and it was terrible. But
I knew you didn't like Forrest himself. I knew that deep down. I know you weren't.
I don't know. It seemed. You know what it seemed like? It seemed like the same way that we treat the 90s, and how we treated any like physical minority in the 90s. Like, we just use it as some kind of weird musing. Like, I don't know. If I was to ask a single person, just, I think out of the blue, like, what they remembered about Forrest Gump, I promise you they'd either talk about the different kinds of shrimp there were, or they'd say Jenny the way that Forrest Gump says Jenny.
Not the chocolate.
Not the chocolates.
Oh, I guess that was, yeah, no, okay, that's fair.
Even though I found out that quote was not first said in that movie. It was like a movie in the like 70s or 80s. But, I mean, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, I'm not going to say it's my top 10 favorite movies ever.
Would you take it on a desert island with you?
Um,
Or do you
I-
take Castaway?
I take Castaway first, just for the irony of it.
I think you know what? I think I could watch that movie multiple times, Forrest Gump, and I think I could keep finding because I've not seen it enough to be like, here's the part where this happened, here's the part where this happens. Look at like, you know how you've watched a movie enough times where you notice something in the top corner that you didn't see before. I don't think it's that.
In the world of Tom Hanks, this is close to the Jared Leto for me. I as far as I am concerned with Tom Hanks, as far as I can remember, I'm sure he's had some bad ones, so I'm not willing to say that is the absolute worst, but I would tell you it's the lower half.
Timeout. Are we saying it as in the way that we say, hey, Jared Leto, you did the best you could?
Yes.
Or are you saying like this is the bottom of the barrel?
I'm saying it's not a terrible movie, but it's not Tom Hanks' best.
Because we'll make this a whole Tom Hanks episode, and we'll go through his IMDb right now. Because I know this isn't the worst thing he's.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. I know it's not.
Yeah, I'm pulling up his IMDb to figure out what his worst is, because it's hard to think of a Tom Hanks bad movie.
It is. It'll have to be in his early years or right after the 90s when he took off. So like after Philadelphia.
So you put this Splash.
What's that?
You put this over Splash?
I put this in the bottom 50% of his movies.
As long as
about just movies or shows too?
Movies.
I think I can accept that if you're telling me it's like when we put Pixar in order and it's just somewhere.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not. Okay. Again, I will go on the record, even though I don't enjoy the film, I can respect and accept the fact that it is widely considered a well done movie.
Because I know you kept saying I understand award awards. I don't even think past awards. I just think because a lot of them. It's not like I remember what award it wins.
Here's what it is. I'm not going to go out and say you like Forrest Gump. I'm going to beat you up. Like I don't hate people that like Forrest Gump. I understand why you like it. I just don't care for it.
I mean, Tom Hanks has a lot of good movies. I'm just looking at movies list he's in. Good movies.
I'm trying to think of any. Wait a minute, because there was for a fact I know there was that movie with him and Halle Berry where they like existed in like 15 different timelines. I don't remember that one being good, but I also didn't see it because I think it was like 3.5 hours.
You talking about Swordfish?
Atlas. Tom Hanks didn't make Swordfish, unfortunately.
Atlas Shrugged. Is that what you're talking about?
I think it was just called Atlas, but it could be.
I think it is the Ayn Rand. I mean, I think it's based off the Ayn Rand because I think you're right. I think I saw that one, and I actually really liked the book, and the movie was okay.
And I mean,
it's called Atlas.
You said Atlas. Oh wait, what
Cloud Atlas?
Cloud Atlas. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look Hook, so.
I've never seen that one.
Whoa. Hook is solid, bro.
Hook is a good movie.
Look here.
I'm curious. I'm gonna need to look up later. I'm curious on if it was the critics rating you saw or
I'll pull it up while we're talking. Go down your list, man. I think you were at 90.
1991, Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Believe it. I remember fondly seeing that movie at a very young age that I should not have seen that at. And it was good.
Budget was between 94 to 102 million, which is an odd little range. And it made, I'm not going to say all the numbers, 519 million. Second was Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Beauty and the Beast.
With Kevin Costner? Robin Hood?
I believe so.
Aside from Men in Tights, that was the best Robin Hood to exist thus far.
Not the one with...
The Fox. I love that one. I'm willing to admit that that's not the best one.
No, I was going to say the one with Jamie Foxx.
Oh. Was there a Robin Hood with Jamie Foxx?
There's a Robin with Jamie.
Yeah, man. You don't remember that? It was like a more recent one.
Was it the Russell Crowe one?
No.
Or Gerard Butler, one of the two. I feel like they interchange them. By the way, real quick, Hook.
Yeah, it was the Kevin Costner one.
Yeah, okay. But it was really well done for the Robin Hood story, and I really enjoyed that one. So, I mean, 92 was apparently a good year. Was that 92 or 91?
91.
91, good year. Terminator 2 and Robin Hood. Hook, 28% on critics, That's 64 scores compiled together. 76 in audience percent. That's 731,000 people that went on there and said, no, I'm going to tell you differently.
That's another one I think that if I had never seen it and I watched it now, I might not. But because of, and there's some movies that are going to be like that forever. Because of when I saw it, it will forever be a good movie.
The moment when they're eating the imaginary food sticks with me for life.
I've 100% have seen that movie at least once in the last 2 years.
But you didn't think of life as like a box of chocolates?
I know, right? But when he throws the invisible food and it splatters all over Robin Williams' face. Plus, it's Robin Williams and Hopkins. Not John Hopkins. What's his name?
Dustin
Hopkins. Huh?
Hoffman?
Hoffman. Thank you.
I was about to say Hopman.
Dennis Hoffman, and that was
John
solid
Hopkins
work on. That was solid work on both of them, and then Meryl Streep's randomly in it, so you had that too. Anyway, sorry, not to derive from. It came out in '91 as well, if that's relevant.
It didn't make top 3.
It made the bottom 20 of the entire '90s, according to Rotten Tomatoes.
But that's the critic score. You know what? I bet you. Let me look. Hold on a second.
Ooh, there's one movie I want to see if it comes up in your list.
Okay.
And later.
We're talking about 91, right?
Yeah.
For Hook. To be fair, it's number 4 out of the top 10 movies that grossed the most in 1991. It's number 4. So.
Nice.
But critics still say it's trash.
Yeah. Another person from the Chicago Tribune said, a woefully uneven retelling of the Peter Pan story. Someone as far as to say, the problem starts when we are asked to accept its two-dimensional residents as anything other than tourists on a forced march through its various nooks and crannies. I want to find Jonathan Rosenbaum and kick him in the ass. This was made for children, god dang it.
But what if he says, I also didn't enjoy Forrest Gump?
Then I love him for that. No.
I need you to create a Facebook group. Can you create a Facebook group and just see if you can get anybody on with you?
It's gonna be a Facebook group is Forrest Gump wasn't that good, right? Question mark.
And then every once a month, just go on and go, is anybody there? And post.
You know what? If I found another person that said they didn't like it, I'd have to ask them why they didn't like it. If they had stupid reasons, I wouldn't
invite them
on.
Invite them on. I want to talk about it, and then it'll be like when people talk about conspiracy theories, I'm gonna say, "You're with this guy, Michael. You and this guy are on the same team."
Hate you so much.
Forrest Gump got 70% from critics and 95% from audience.
So Michael's just the 5%.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that. Some movies just don't rub you the right way.
I'm a white straight male. I'm a part of all the top 2%, guys.
Hold on a second. If anything, you watching this movie as a white male, watching him go through these struggles and overcoming, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
Maybe that's why you don't like it. You're like, this isn't real life.
Right. None of it is, but I accept that. It's a movie.
Do you want to hear a review of Forrest Gump?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is
it a bad review or a good one?
It's a bad one.
Yes.
Okay. Only in America could you envision a film with the conceit of a simpleton as a conduit through a swathe of that country's socio-history, and for it not to be colossal satire.
And they took
it. It's Forrest Gump.
Only in America. You're the ping pong champ. It's a goddamn war hero.
Who was a goddamn war hero? Anyways.
1992.
You know what? I hate the Bubba Gump shrimp factory. Maybe that's why. Shut those bastards down.
We did really dumb down that character. But you know what? However, I think that guy played him really well.
Yeah, Bubba was played well.
He sold the character. You know it because he was a lot of people's favorite.
I believe he was from Mississippi or Louisiana, either one. Whatever one you want to tell me, I'd believe it.
Doesn't matter.
This is another one. I can't see how people with low IQ or those who love them are in any way comforted by this hogwash. I can easily see how much people might be offended by its smug unreality. It's based on a true story, bro.
Is it? Be careful when you say that. Because
Based on
how much of it was based on a real story?
as much as all the other ones.
Right. You tell me there's a man out there that got shot in the ass, saved a man, carried him off, also carried his legless lieutenant.
Shot in the buttocks.
I'm sorry, shot in the buttocks. And then also at one point in time shook JFK's hand, and I'm trying not to mix in the Weird Al Yankovic lump priority with the actual movie. But also then won some champion. It was the Olympics in ping pong or just ping pong world champion?
Man, I don't know.
And then also helped his friend start a shrimp chain, who then died.
And then jogged across the world.
And jogged across the world.
Apparently the character is based on several different people. So it's true enough.
All of that didn't happen to one person, but it happened to a lot of people.
Maybe they were all named Forrest.
Did we literally just compile everything that happened to America in a couple years and said these stories all happened to one person now? Yay!
He's the embodiment of America. That's what it is. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Interestingly, I believe in the beginning, why don't his legs work?
I don't know.
Braces. So my grandpa had braces when he was about that age, and it was
did he run out of them?
Surprisingly, he couldn't. He didn't get to fight or wasn't drafted in the war, which I guess is a positive for him probably. Didn't have to fight in World War II because of it, and but it was just funny to me that he did not get to just run out of them. In fact, at one point he had to have a surgery and removed his knee. Still plays better tennis than I can, but. That man moves.
You know what stuck with me the most? Not saying Jenny, not saying shrimp, not life is like a box of chocolate. It's pray with me, Forrest. And then she goes, please God, make me a bird so I can fly far, 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 far away from here. And she said it 1,000 times, and it's stuck in my head like nobody's business. I don't know why.
All right.
Because it's so sad.
yeah.
The Forrest Gump.
IMDb. 1992, Aladdin. Budget 28 mil. Worldwide gross 504 mil.
This was the height of the animated Disney films. Was in the 90s. That's when they were skyrocketing because we're gonna get Lion King, Toy Story at the very end. It might be 2000, early 2000s. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of good cartoons. Mulan, Szechuan sauce.
Just naming movies he knows made by Disney.
No, still cartoon. They did really well right now. They got lots of money, and then Michael Eisner took over and said, he was in charge, and said, I'm going to squeeze every dime out of these suckers I can, and it didn't go well after that.
I mean, it's our generation is a Disney generation. We're raised on
Euro Disney came from.
The second place is The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston.
I can sing it for you.
Do it.
Did you mute me, you son of a bitch? I heard a little click. Like you muted me? I'm out.
I still heard you, though.
And then Home Alone 2 was number 3.
Is that the one where he goes to New York?
Yes, and I'm not on board with that because the Home Alone 2 was garbage. The premise was lost on me in the first one. I was like, this is horse shit. The second one, though, was like, okay, this is too much now.
We watch that one every year for Christmas because Derek loves that movie.
I have a friend that genuinely believed at that age that if he took the cassette and wrote the number 3 on it, it would no longer be Home Alone 2, it would be Home Alone 3.
Home Alone 3 was so good.
Oh.
We should watch that one.
Stop.
Together as a team. 1993, I think arguably the best year.
Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park's number 1.
Yeah.
63 million. Worldwide gross 914 million. Yeah, good stuff.
That's not the one Jen is watching, right? She's watching Jurassic World.
Jurassic World.
She's watching the newest one.
The one that I don't know. Okay.
She's watching it right now.
For those of you at home that don't know, Jennifer's watched this movie more times than any single human being on the earth.
You know what's funny is there's a part that comes up that I do, and it makes her laugh every time. Because, spoiler alert for the movie.
You've had several years.
If it came out before COVID-19, it's no longer spoiler. You better have seen it by now.
You've had time.
All
You've
that
had
free
time, I
time.
know for sure. The bad guy from one of the Law and Orders wants to use the Raptors for weapons. And
He's not a bad guy. He's a good guy.
is he?
Yeah,
I mean-
the guy that plays the Roach in Men in Black. He's a good guy. Criminal Intent. Also played Kingpin.
He's not a good
Daredevil.
guy in this one.
Is he the one that played Kingpin and Daredevil?
Yeah.
He's not a good guy?
You thought he was a good
No,
guy?
you said bad guy in Law and Order.
No, the bad guy in that movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he was a bad guy in Law and Order. I'm like, there's
sorry.
one guy that always exists as the bad guy. Like,
No, he's
I do all the
bad guy,
kidnappings.
the guy from Law and Order.
Yep. Okay.
Or maybe not even a bad guy, but just not the best ideal guy. But to be fair, I've watched, and I challenge any of you guys because I've seen this movie more than any of you. Arguably, the worst person in this movie is the woman.
Fair.
Oh, she is 100%.
Not the,
I've seen
no,
it once.
Is this the one where the guy's running with the margaritas in his hand? Not that guy?
That's
that might be
Jimmy
the other
Buffett.
one. Is it Jimmy Buffett? Oh, cool. Don't shake your head at me like that. You don't know what Jimmy Buffett looks like.
I know he ain't
I've
in this
been to a
movie,
Jimmy Buffett concert.
What?
but yeah, she walks up to him because he wants to use the Raptors as weapons, and that's when it's just so that we have that cool scene where Chris Pratt's riding motorcycles next to Raptors, and she goes up to him and she goes, "You wanted this to happen, you son of a bitch," and I just say that part repeatedly. So anytime Jennifer does something, I go, "You wanted this to happen, you son of a bitch," over and over and over again. Second place was Mrs. Doubtfire, and
Oh, that was good.
number 3 was The Fugitive, which I also think was amazing. Probably
What a good year.
one of the most solid years in this whole list. Any comments on any movie before we move on to 94?
No, I'm looking up, god dang, if it's Jimmy Buffett or not. It apparently is Jimmy Buffett. It is that film, by the way, Clay.
I know it's Jimmy Buffett.
I don't. I mean,
1994.
who's ever like, I know what Jimmy Buffett looks like? I hate
Uh,
Stephanie.
Number 1, The Lion King.
Nice.
Budget 45 mil. Worldwide gross 763 mil.
Do either of you still have, or do your parents still have the original VHSs you had as a kid?
No.
I do. I have
all mine are
I have all my
garbage.
VHSs here. I
Are
have
you-
2 VHS players too.
Let me ask.
Actually, I only have one. I think I still have one of yours.
Oh, then I maybe have 3. I have 2 now.
Let me ask you both. Why?
I don't know. You know what? Like, probably 5 years ago, I was like, oh, because those TVs still kind of existed with the VHS built
Mhm.
into them. I was
Mhm.
like, oh, if I
used
ever
to-
had a kid, I could have her watch them on that.
I
And then-
owned one as of a year ago.
But now, we have gone
Disney
into
Plus?
a new century. So, yeah.
So
I
Yeah.
still
But
like
here's-
watching the VHS though.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Because
so
I
do
still
you
like watching like
see,
Mouse
see the
Detective.
lines start cutting out?
Yeah,
Her being
I
in
enjoy that.
agreement with you about movies is not boding well for you anymore. It's slowly
Okay.
starting to.
So Michael, she said that she still enjoys watching them. Now that you're at a point where A, you don't even have one anymore to play it,
I don't.
and B, there's a better way to watch it
Yes.
because you're not going to get rid of it.
You're gonna ask me why I still have them? That's
Yeah.
I mean, they're just there.
Just gonna. But I'm saying
They're
like
in my garage right now. I'm not
I
looking at
can't
them,
I
so-
can't see you. I can't see you ever going. Time to throw this away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's tough to throw them away. I imagine I'd probably try to sell them. There's someone out there that would want them. I have a good collection of them.
Oh, for sure.
But, yeah.
Is it in mint condition?
It's not, bro. It's not mint condition. It's definitely, as they would call in the comic book world, it's a reader. Definitely one that you just you go ahead and crack that sucker open and watch it.
So could you just sell it to Stephanie then?
Yeah, probably. I'll sell them to you for
I
like
probably
$1
already have
apiece.
it.
That's
They're
fair.
they've been in the garage for so long. I wouldn't be surprised if some of them are a little melty.
Ooh, thanks.
Because that's a problem you had to run into with this lack of technology.
All right, 94 was
The Lion King.
Lion King.
Number 2 is Forrest Gump. And then number 3 is True Lies.
Maybe that's why I don't like Forrest Gump, because Lion King came out the same year. I remember going in and seeing Lion King and them coming in. It was when they used to still walk into theaters and ask you for money for charities. It was fun.
I never had that happen to me.
Really? Yeah, they came into the theater and were like, if you donate $10 to whatever organization it was like, we'll give you this special bucket. You still have to pay to fill it up with a popcorn, so.
Does anybody remember this at all?
What?
True Lies?
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lynch. Jamie Lee, thank you. Jamie Lee.
Maybe if I saw like the movie poster. I don't recognize the name.
I remember when he has her stripped down for him by playing a cassette player or a voice changer.
Good stuff. 1995. Die Hard with a Vengeance, number 1.
I've never seen it.
Budget of 90
Hey, you've
million.
never seen it? It's the best Christmas movie to ever exist.
Never seen it.
Oh my God.
Second was Toy Story. 3 was Apollo 13.
Another good movie.
Tom Hanks was also in Apollo 13.
That was a good movie. That one.
So weird, man. 1996. Independence Day.
Ooh. Wait, where's Wild Wild West?
Let's see if Wild Wild West made the top 10, because it was Will Smith, and Will Smith was on top of his game in that time frame.
Yeah, I feel like people went and saw that movie because Will Smith was in it, but then they left going, I'm a little disappointed that I watched that.
Not in the top 10. If it's in 1996, 1999, well, then be patient.
Let's see what the score is.
It's not the top 10.
It's not top 10.
I can't wait to talk about 1999.
Okay. 90, that was 96 or 95?
What?
The one that just ended with
96.
Oh,
no, that was 95.
Okay, so we're going into 96.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to 98.
What was 96 again? Sorry. I just shut up by now.
Keep it down over there. You need to calm your tits. Relax. 1996 is Independence Day. Budget of $75 million and grossed $817 million. Second was Twister.
Oh, yeah.
3 was Mission Impossible.
Another good one. God, that was a good year. Oh, that's tough.
I question if Twister holds up. Yeah, I see her. I see her. I don't know if Twister
still holds up. Who was it? Helen something?
Helen Hunt?
Helen Hunt, yeah. I would say it does. And God, what's the other guy's name? He died recently. He's the one that was in Aliens. That's what I always remember.
What's funny is I just watched another movie with him in it also, Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton, thank you. Yeah, no, I would say it holds up. I mean, it's older and it's more real to you guys. I watched it on a Laserdisc. That's what I watched that on. That's right. That format. Anyways, watched it on a Laserdisc in California. And, tornadoes, who gives a shit about a tornado? That's never happened. Now, earthquakes, you show me San Andreas, I'll be like, shit. But,
man. That movie fucked my world up.
That's real.
Yeah.
I'm not living out here, man. That shit's real. That's
in
today.
Arizona, that was like, oh, that's funny. And that happens in like Kansas, maybe.
When I lived in Wichita Falls, it was called Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
So seeing that movie, every time there was a storm, I was like, this is it.
It's the time. It's going to take a cow. I'm going with it.
Never had to, like, as a child, get in a tub and, like, put the mattress over it and wait things out.
No, the worst storm.
I had active shooter drills in school, so
we had those too. We had those.
We had those. The worst storm we were ever in. We played checkers in the dark because our power was out. And then we came out the next day and like shingles were off of roofs next to our around our block.
But
trees were blown over, and that was it.
I'm about to really depress you. My baddest storm was like screaming out for our pet to try to get inside before it was blown away. Yeah, fun stuff.
I don't think we had a pet.
Suck it, Texas.
Anyone want to guess on 97?
Ooh, it would have been after Mission Impossible.
I'm bad at timings of movies.
I think 98 is Mulan, so I don't know.
97 is Titanic.
Oh, see, I was thinking that came out later than that, but Titanic was.
Budget was $200 million, which, by the way, was half of some of the gross of the other movies we just mentioned.
Yeah.
And the worldwide gross, just to make sure I'm saying it right, almost $2 billion.
I remember Kate Winslet's movies.
Don't we all?
Kate Winslet and
My mom
Leonardo
covered my
DiCaprio
eyes
got
while I was
screwed over in that movie. They made like we're gonna pay you this much to be in this movie, and then it grossed that much money, and they didn't get any of it.
That sounds about right. A lot of things that happened in the 90s helped later on with like SAG and stuff like that. They have way better agreements. I can't remember what it is now, but Cleve and I were talking about one a while back. But anyways.
Well, I imagine because movies weren't making $2 billion.
Right. Number 2, sadly, Jurassic World, The Lost World Jurassic Park.
That one was okay, but I believe it got built with the hype of one, I would assume.
Oh, for sure. And it was below average.
It was okay. The third one, I can't bear to watch ever.
No.
Lost World, I watched a lot as a kid.
Well, yeah, because you were still riding the Jurassic Park high.
I was all about dinosaurs.
It's below average. We never explained why his child's black. It never leaves me. I appreciate them giving her that role, but I mean, whatever. Number 3 was Men in Black.
I can see that. Yeah, Men in Black was big.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith again.
I feel like
2 years in a row.
Lost World only did so well because of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But Men in Black was better than Lost World.
That's just like, oh yeah, for sure. And that's just like when they used Jeff Goldblum to make the second Jurassic World look really good, and he was like in a scene and a half.
Yeah.
Like a half a day of shooting, and he was out. 1998. Steph, you were looking forward to this year. Do you have an idea?
10 years old.
Godzilla wasn't this year.
Oh, yeah.
And then Small Soldiers. And I know those two movies because my brother watched them on repeat every single day. Probably more than Jennifer watches Jurassic World. So I've seen those two movies, and I could repeat to Godzilla word for word.
So you think that those have made top 3?
I don't know about Small
There's
Soldiers,
no
but
way.
Godzilla.
One of them did.
Really?
I think Godzilla did. I don't think Small Soldiers did.
Small Soldiers was amazing, and it also inspired the rodeo burger at Burger King, which you can still get to this day. Just wanted you to know. It's a burger patty with cheese and onion rings and barbecue sauce. You're welcome.
I mean, Small Soldiers was a good movie. I'd just be surprised if it beat out Godzilla.
So, number 1, Armageddon. Right? Even though not
terrible movie.
not good.
I know many people that love that movie, and I've watched it.
And I remember it when it came out thinking like, oh my God, this is so good. But like logically, dumb. Such a dumb movie. How is it cheaper to teach these oil rig people how to be astronauts than it is to teach astronauts how to dig for oil? Stupid. Anyway.
That's why, man.
Number 2, Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hanks movie.
Tom Hanks is solid, man. This is why.
Great decade for Tom Hanks.
Number 3, Godzilla. Straight trash.
Matthew Broderick is rough.
And I remember I was a Godzilla fan. I remember being so pumped about it, and it was just not good. But it did get.
I'm not saying it's a great movie. I'm just saying I've seen it 4 million times because my brother.
I get it.
Oh my gosh!
I definitely remember the toys and all the selling gimmicks they had for it.
Yeah.
I also had a next door neighbor that liked to try to roar like Godzilla as a child. And then you'd be like, oh, he probably grew out of that because he was a child. Then no, he still doesn't.
Does he do it better than he did as a child?
He doesn't. It's the same.
Damn.
It sounds like a pterodactyl.
Had he perfect, and that's so impressive. If he said, hey, watch me do this pterodactyl and just did that, that'd be cool. Anyway, 1999. I think Michael was excited about this one. Maybe
This is when Wild Wild West was there, so that's the only reason it came out.
it's a rough year. Uh, anybody? Any wild guesses at all? I would love to hear them because you're not going to get it.
Splash.
No,
Mulan.
that's like 80s.
It was.
The number one, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Yes. I don't care what you
Obviously.
say. It wasn't that bad.
Wasn't that good?
Number 2 was worse.
I mean, I would put Forrest Gump over The Phantom Menace.
When it came out, I wouldn't. I mean, for me, for a little, like, if I was the same age, okay, what would be the prime age for me to go see Forrest Gump?
I think you have to be an adult to really appreciate it.
Yeah. I
'Cause
think it'd be older.
I think.
Because sometimes I think you saw movies when you were young, and then that's carried over also.
I remember them from when I saw them. Like, I mean, that's when I initially
But
started.
I mean, you said you saw it recently, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you say that you watched it thinking I'm not going to go in with my pre-conceived notions of hating it or not enjoying it.
You know what should have been on there? Major Payne. Where the hell's Major Payne at? God, I love that movie. Are you kidding me?
But we're real wishy-washy about Forrest Gump.
95.
Major Pain, hot movie. Forrest Gump.
Oh,
I'm
have
not
you
sure
ever,
about
have
that
you ever
one.
seen Major Payne, Stephanie? Because it holds.
Yes, I have.
Oh, shoot. 16.
Number 2 is The Sixth Sense.
Never saw it, as we've talked about before. Actually.
Sixth Sense. What was the first one?
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Sixth Sense was better.
Right, but again, riding that high, everybody's
Yes.
super pumped about that coming out. Obviously, it's going to sell more. And then number 3, also riding the high, was Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2 was rough.
Because there's no way that should be number 3. Because let's look up the rest.
What
the
else
top
came out,
10
yeah.
for that one. The Matrix.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
Disney
I was thinking that was
Tarzan,
2000.
The Mummy.
Ooh. Wait, Ben Fraser's Mummy?
Yeah.
That's good.
Notting Hill, which is Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Nobody cares.
No.
The World Is Not Enough, the James Bond movie. American Beauty. And Austin Powers' The Spy Who Shagged Me was
Well,
number
that
10.
should be number 1. I don't even understand. They had
The-
girls who shot with their boobies.
It was such a good movie. But yeah, I just think it's interesting these tallies because now, well past 10 years for each of these, we know that some of these were straight butt, but they made so much
Star
moolah.
Wars: The Phantom Menace was a solid movie based on only
So it's better than The Matrix.
based only on a 5-minute lightsaber scene that I would pay this full price of a movie to go see again.
That's the dumbest thing I've heard you say.
That's fine.
You still haven't seen Sixth Sense, right, Michael?
No, I'm not.
Why not? Why don't you just watch it now?
Because I feel like at this point it's ruined. Like there's no magic to it.
But you
No,
always say
it's-
that you
it's
can't.
so
I
good.
can't ruin a movie for you.
That's true, but I feel like that movie, it's not like, I don't know. I feel like that one is kind of like, this is what it was building on, but maybe I'll go see it. I don't know. Again,
I
people
mean-
will hate me, but I don't think Bruce Willis was that great. I think Die Hard was a good movie, but I don't think Bruce Willis is a fantastic actor.
No, this was like the last movie he cared about. So like you're still getting good Bruce Willis here.
Yeah, after this movie, Bruce Willis kind of just like
I
dropped
saw the
off.
whole 9 yards. I know.
He tanked. I mean, he just like whatever. I got this money.
Yeah. He was like, I got Sixth Sense money. I
That's-
don't need to do this anymore.
That's the goal. Is you need to be just an amazing actor, and then be like, everybody give me the roles, and then just half-ass drunk the rest of it. But you really have to put your work in. You got to do your diehards.
Bob
You got to do your
Hoskins,
Sixth
right?
Sense.
I feel like
Yeah.
if you're not trying to focus on the ending of Sixth Sense, if you just watch it without thinking about it, it's still good.
Yeah, but
I
But I
know
mean-
the ending. It's still a good movie.
yeah, but you watch it like after you've seen it the first time, and you're looking for all these things that you saw the first time.
Yeah.
Michael doesn't get to go through that first watch because he waited 11 years.
Longer than that, 21.
I mean, it can't be longer than that because it's
21 years.
Oh yeah. Sorry, my math is off.
No, you're good.
But still, you waited those first 10 years. It was already done. Spoiled.
But real quick, I just want to, for the record, hear you say that
No.
you think that the Phantom Menace should be over the Matrix.
No.
Okay, just making sure because that shit was revolutionary. People take stuff from that movie to this day.
I straight forgot that Bob Hoskins also was Shmi in Hook. Mario
Still hanging on the hook, huh?
Mario was Shmi. He was also the Detective Roger Rabbit, which was a fantastic movie, but I think that was 80s, so it doesn't count for this year. 88.
Yeah, that was actually 88 because it was the year I was born.
I was born then too, Stephanie.
I know.
You just get to claim the year.
No, I just know
we
what
get it,
year
that's
that
fine.
movie was made because my mom bought me like Disney things for the year I was born, and Roger Rabbit was.
Hey, also, The Sixth Sense is under here as Disney for distributor, which is
Who owns it?
interesting.
Who produced it? Or not produced it, but who was it? Touchstone? Then it was. Touchstone's what they used for a lot of their, like, we don't want people to know that we're attached to this.
It's just shady. I feel like I don't like it.
Yeah.
It seems grimy to me.
Same reason why.
If you support it. Don't.
Yeah, well, it's the same reason like Runaways is on Hulu, but Cloak and Dagger's on Freeform. Because Freeform's considered a family show, or it was ABC Family, and they felt that it was more appropriate to put there. And then Runaways, for whatever reason, they thought was a better on Hulu. Like,
Yeah, because Runaways was only on Hulu. Like it didn't release on TV at all.
Really?
Yeah, but I feel like
I still need to watch it.
I feel like Cloak and Dagger was like drug addiction and all kinds of stuff.
But if you think about it, though, like, what are the Christmas special movies about? Drug addiction and homelessness and being, yeah. That to me is
Seventh Heaven at its finest.
right. Why can't I just find who produced or what studio had this information?
I mean, even Saved by the Bell dealt with drug issues.
Oh my God! Please don't ever bring up Saved by the Bell again. It's literally the worst. Hollywood Pictures Spyglass Entertainment. I wonder if Spyglass is.
I started going into 2000 because I got curious. 2000, solid year, kind of. Not number one. Number one was not good. Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible 2 wasn't terrible.
It was rode the high.
It wasn't top movie of the year.
Gladiator was number 2, and Castaway was number 3. What Women Want is number 4, which I think is hilarious because that shit would not fly today.
Neither would Mel Gibson.
Although that movie
Well, not
wanted
Mel
me.
Gibson.
That movie made me want to be in advertising, though.
And then Dinosaur by Disney, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Meet the Parents, The Perfect Storm. I forgot that movie existed. And then X-Men and What Lies Beneath.
For the record, Sixth Sense Hollywood Records is the reason that it is Disney distributed.
Mm.
I knew they own like a crap ton of different places.
I watched What Lies Beneath like the other, like in March or something. Because I was like, I don't think I've seen this, and I saw it on Netflix, so I watched it.
Did you super sidetrack? Did you see the shit that Disney did with the movie Splash in that one scene?
Yeah.
Oh, the butt
Covered
where
her
they stretch
butt with hair.
the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks so bad. It makes you look at her butt more.
You've never been to Disneyland, right, Cleve? Fun.
Maybe one of them.
Stephanie, you went to Disneyland?
I've been to
Florida, California.
Which one's in Florida?
That's
World.
Okay.
But the Splash Mountain was originally created to push the movie Splash. Real story. Michael Eisner really wanted to get the press out about this. They were going to build the ride no matter what, but they wanted to name it Splash, the ride, and it was supposed to be like a telling of the movie and the story. and they got McDonald's to sponsor it so they could pay for it and all this, and they ended up like arguing about it, and somehow they gave the name still stayed Splash Mountain, but then told the story of, I don't remember what the story is.
Some rabbit.
The Briar Rabbit. No, I was trying to think of the name of the actual story. Like it's the same line of like Song of the South, where it was that one storyteller that Walt Disney really liked. That particular story passed around to different rides, and he wrote on it and liked it. So he was like, "This is what we'll go with." But yeah, no, originally it was going to be a ride about the movie Splash, which is why Michael Eisner convinced the Imagineers to keep the name Splash in it.
Nice. And we talked about this, though. I just don't like one place putting out all the movies in different ways.
Yes.
And then you covered up this scene, it's just a butt crack, which is interesting because it's not like it's the front of a boy or a girl. You know what I mean? Any child of any age knows their butt and has one, and it's not a conversation you have to have. You know what I mean? It's not like Michael, you and James are watching the movie Waiting, and then she's like, "What's that?" And you have to hold that whole conversation. Like she has a butt. Everyone has a butt. So for you to cover a butt that's on there for a couple of seconds, it just seems over the
And she
top.
has long enough hair anyway. It's not like a full butt anyway.
And if you're not gonna put the Song of the South on there, don't start censoring other shit.
They might as well just put it on there. I don't understand. You know what? Own it.
Chicken shit. That's what I'm saying.
Do the same shit you did for Dumbo, where you're like, "Hey, just to let you know, we were racist back then, and here's why."
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, just own it.
We didn't like blacks or Jews. Let's just be who we are. Because there's nothing. It's the whole thing with the dog. There's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, this was the time that they were in. It's not like we support it now. We've moved forward. You are not responsible for the actions of your parents. You're not responsible for the actions of Walt at a certain time frame. You know."
Right.
But do you remember when that one guy, when Hugh Jackman got a blowjob while he was trying to hack a computer
I
with
do.
a gun to his head?
I do. He was so brave.
I don't know why, but Swordfish easily is one of my favorite like movies to randomly reminisce on. Like this was just not great
Because it was
film that
so wild.
just out there.
It was Fast and the Furious before it was Fast. Before
Oh,
Fast and
absolutely.
Furious was out
Yeah.
there. When Hugh Jackman was so tiny and not so buff. You ever see the comparisons of him like in the first X-Men movie and like towards the end of his X-Men career?
Similar to the before and after pictures of Barry Bonds when he was on the Pirates and when he played for the Giants. That's why there's an asterisk next to his name forever.
But it's there.
Eh.
Look at the little side by side.
He's so cute on the left, and then terrifying. on the
Yes.
right.
That's what's funny is on the left it's just some guy who woke up and went to work. And
Joel
this guy
disoriented.
haunts my nightmares.
Those are the in-between pictures. And then the other one that you showed was there. And then the cut off.
There's still a big massive difference.
Yeah. Still between this one and then the one that you can't see but was on your screen.
hmm
That's
Even
still a
that
huge difference.
Even the 2003-2006 gap is big. It's a big
Yeah.
difference.
I feel like these two are pretty similar.
Mhm.
He was getting smaller here though. You can see like he's
Don't
like in
point
the
at his
same
crotch
outfit
and say
too.
that. That's fucking rude.
I think he's like second place for people who played one character forever. And I think Robert Downey Jr. is number one.
Mm.
But I think
Fair.
it's pretty close. Like 11-year, 10-year type thing. You think we're still going to get the Marvel what ifs
Yeah.
with all this going on?
So, actually, fun fact about that, they had already finished filming the raw footage and are currently editing at home.
Good.
So, What Ifs is actually still on schedule. Everything else is not.
Because I know that Black Widow got pushed back. Even though I'm gonna get my Marvel box for it, so I wonder if I should open it or not.
Yes.
But what if it spoils
Ruin
it?
it for everybody.
What if I find out that Taskmaster is Hawkeye?
If it's Hawkeye, I will find Troy and kill him. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let us know in the comments down below what your favorite movie in the 90s was, and if it still holds up to today. Also, if you liked Forrest Gump, let me know, and maybe tell me why you like Forrest Gump. Or, if you don't like Forrest Gump, just put Jamie in the bottom, and then I'll know. I'll know deep down inside you hated it as well.
Ideally, out of 100%, 5%, out of 100 people, 5 will be like with you.
That's
Or
fine.
maybe just 4 because you're one.
Oh, yikes, that's true. No. But anyway, let us know. I don't hate it. It's an okay film. Just didn't think it deserves the praise that it gets. Just like the Beatles, but that's a whole another fight we can have another day.
I don't even know why you would say it.
Yeah, it's good. Let that seep in so you can all tell me how much you hate me. Anyways, you guys can let us know if you comment down below on our YouTube page. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Cleve, how else can they reach us?
We do have a Facebook, and we do have a Twitter, and we do have an Instagram. They're all Friendship Supreme, except for Twitter. Twitter has no I's in the word friendship, because all of the I's are on our YouTube channel. You go to youtube.com, you search Friendship Supreme, and we are there. We have a Patreon that we would appreciate you to sign up for. It is patreon.com/Friendship Supreme. And then we also are anywhere you can find any podcast. We also have an email, which is friendship.supreme@gmail.com. And we also have a couple of other series going on as well. We have the Extra Jalapenos. And for the month of May, we have Anime Nia, where we review the first episode of different animes.
It's been fun so far.
It's okay.
I've enjoyed it. Was it too much on the nose to wear a Diva hat and Diva headphones?
Oh man, you look like like one of those
Like an
gaming
e-girl?
girls.
I'm an e-girl. Yeah, definitely. Hold on.
Yeah,
I got the views.
that's what we're all looking for. Our poor listeners got to miss out on that.
Yeah, if you were listening, you didn't get to see me push my boobs together. Anyways.
Just cut all that.
Oh, it stays. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you haven't already, tell your friends. Let them know about us. If you haven't signed up for Patreon yet, make sure to sign up for Patreon. You can throw as little as $1 in there. And for as little as $5, you get extra content, which is exciting.
What?
You get to listen to Stephanie make us relive memories of our childhood. She thought she was doing a good episode. She was like, yeah, this is going to be fun and everybody's going to be laughing and stuff. And then she made us talk about things.
I just forgot.
Yeah.
Don't think about your sad lives.
You're our friend, Stephanie.
Yeah.
You're in
If,
the logo, Stephanie.
if you haven't figured this out, we're the Forrest Gumps of our stories. We have
That's maybe why I
surpassed
not liked it.
crazy odds
Where
to
did-
be with you today.
I've been Michael.
This is Cleve,
This is Stephanie.
and life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're
know
gonna get.
what you're gonna get.
See, you're doing the voice.
So much. One, Dave Kerr from Chicago Tribune says, "Hook never sets sail." Fucking clever, bro.